Oh God, you guys and your recordings. What's that
Yes,
all
sir.
about? I never record any meetings. I make some concise notes.
Oh, okay. So should I stop
Yeah,
recording?
Sadness, it's up to you. Sadness obsessed. Then you've got to go back and watch it, haven't you?
All.
Hi, Samita.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just laughing at Sadna. She records everything. Anything that
She's
moves.
recording
Uh,
evidence.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Yes, that's my part-time career. I record stuff and I catalog.
Yeah, she's probably got a library of a million Zoom videos. What should we
And I
watch
don't
tonight?
know
Oh,
what
do you
happened
remember we were talking
suddenly.
about the buses in 2022? Right, anyway, it's Pooja, you're going first.
Yes, sir. So good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
I'm
sorry.
going to
So I'm not
present,
able to see everything. Yeah, please present.
ma'am.
Because it's just that I'm on my phone, you know that, right? I don't know what's happened. I'm not able to.
Pooja,
Yeah.
send
Sometimes when I
her,
have to present, I
email
sometimes go
the,
nervous and I switch on the wrong buttons. Wait a second, ma'am. Let me fix
email the
it.
video, email the PPT to her so she's looking at it on a laptop.
Okay. Should I email the PPT to her right away?
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Just give me a moment. Just give me a
I'm not able
moment.
to log into my laptop call. That's why
Oh,
I'm
right.
on.
You're not.
Yeah, so anyway, you can present. I will see it later, but you present. I think that would be
All right.
Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. I am using Zoom for this kind of a thing for the first after a very long time. So I might take a little bit more time than usual. Can you see my screen?
It's black at the moment. Ah, we can now,
Okay.
yes.
Is it now visible?
Yep.
Okay, let me just give it some time to kind of come here when I'm putting yeah, okay. So here I begin. So today I'm going to take you through my journey of educational leadership and how it has given me clarity as a teaching and learning lead. So to begin with, I would like to take you through my role, my responsibilities, and my priorities as a teaching and learning lead. Whatever I've read in all the researches that we went through, I think one thing came out to me very strongly, which gave me the first clarity point, and which was I'm sorry, I think it's taking some time, which is that what is the purpose of all school leaders? I think the purpose of all school leaders, which came across very clearly, was improving student outcome. And aligning my role, I think all school leaders should be working towards improving the student outcome of their school. And for my role, I'm sorry, just give me a moment. It's got stuck. My laptop is acting up. Please, it gave me the first thing, but it's not giving me the next.
Okay,
Adna, can you
Pooja?
help me, please?
Yes, I'll just come.
Yeah, I would just need that help. So, as I was saying, that was one thing that started and gave me the main clarity when I read the research that what is the role of all school leaders. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. And it says, as I said, improving student outcome. Now, from there, if I see what is my main role, so I have identified 3 key roles for myself. One is to improve the quality of teaching and learning, which in that, what I've looked at, we look at high quality professional development for all teachers. So making the PD time effective, induction of new teachers to maintain that pedagogical consistency, and PDQ sessions for experienced teachers. So these are the 3 ways I am contributing to improving the quality of teaching and learning. Now, if I see the second, when I talk about this role, what am I, the leadership approach that I'll be using is instructional leadership, because all this that I'm going to do while helping them improve the quality of teaching and learning would impact the student learning. So definitely that's how it is a part of instructional leadership. Now, if I see the part role 2, which is creating a curriculum progression with clear LOs, from FY to grade 2 and review it periodically for relevance. Again, this is an aspect of instructional leadership that I'll be using to help me achieve this role. Then the next is the last, which I've identified for myself, is coaching and mentoring the expert teachers at our school to create high quality mentors and subject leaders across all subjects and grades in early years, to lead learning in their respective areas of work and support teachers across EY. So their role would be two. Phase one is to improve the learning as well as to support teachers and create that collaborative learning culture. Now, when I look at these things, I have also identified some key priorities for the roles that I have. If you talk about the first role, which is improving the quality of teaching and learning, my priority here for the year 25-27 is to focus on building shared understanding of learning objective and success criteria, something that we started working upon this very year, which is 25 July. And we expect by March 26, we should be able to develop a good understanding of learning objective and success criteria for all our grade leads and SPOCs, such that they can create effective lesson plans with clear learning objectives and success criteria. Now, if you talk about assessment, was our next goal after we established LOSC clarity and their ability to write clear learning outcomes. Assessment would be the next thing that we want to focus at. Now, for my role 2, my key priority is creating a curriculum with clear progression, learning across grades EY by defining clear learning outcomes and clear year-end expectations, something that we are also working as a as the 3 campuses, as you all are aware, and something that we are looking at. Maybe by the end of 27, we should have very clear year-end goals for each grade up to grade 2, so that we make students PY ready. So that is my second priority. And when you see the third priority, I have 2 priorities there. One is developing at least one expert teacher as a math mentor. As most of you are aware, I was taking care of the math curriculum from FY to grade 2. With my current role, it was getting too difficult. So that is where I realized the need for distributed leadership when I was doing when I did this course and was introduced to distributed leadership. I think that was one thing that struck me the first, that I should distribute it and give responsibility. Having said that, it was not that it was not there in my mind. I also realized you need to give you can only give responsibility to people that you trust, who can lead it further with the same kind of commitment. I think that is where I took time to identify that person I could trust to completely give that responsibility as a math mentor. Another thing is English mentor, because we have a spiral curriculum which is coming up to grade 1 next year. So developing one strong subject SPOC as an English mentor who can lead this in grade 1 and 2. So this is one when in terms of creating mentors, subject mentors. Then I also consider another priority as creating 2 mentors as trainers, because in PDQ so far it's Sadhna and I, we are the ones who are training, but we need more trainers from our team. So we this is another priority that I've picked for myself, that I will create at least help develop, along with Sadhna's support, 2 mentors as trainers who will be developing, building their capacity to lead PDQ guided learning sessions with some support. So this is my role, my responsibilities and the key priorities. Now, the references that I've used are Dempster, because when I read the article, it talks about the purpose. Then you talk of Harris, Hallinger, Southworth, Fuller and Kurtman. Distributed leadership is heavily talked about Alma Harris. Hallinger talks about instructional leadership. Southworth also talks about instructional, or you can say call it learning-centered leadership. And Fuller and Kurtman talks a lot about collaboration. So these are the references that I've used. Now, if we move to the next slide, it talks about my key takeaways from the different leadership models, which are in sync, which are aligned to my role and my responsibilities. So here. Yeah. Oh, thank you. So if you see the first one, it talks about instructional leadership. And the 3 key takeaways for me from that, which aligns with my role very closely, is enhancing the quality of classroom instruction through improving PD, supporting curriculum, and enhancing assessment. And all these three are keyed in as my key priorities. Now, promoting positive school learning climate for fostering collaboration. As I clearly mentioned, collaboration is one thread that has to flow throughout to help me achieve whatever I am out for achieving. Now, formulating and communicating the school's vision clearly. Unless we are aligned to that, I don't think we'll be able to move ahead. And the reference for it is Hallinger that I've used. I've read his work, and that's where all these things came out for me, which are aligned closely to my role and responsibilities. Now, distributed leadership, I read Harris extensively, and I think that's where this comes, that use experts within the team wherever it exists. This also helps in building trust and motivates those leaders within the team who are expert in the area of work. In my third priority, if you've seen, I aim to work towards that, where I want to, engage teacher experts from the team to take up responsibility and leadership role. Distributed leadership is not about delegating responsibility. That was one very key takeaway for me from this course, because so far I used to think if you are distributing, you just give responsibility and the person can take it. But here I've learned that it is about intentional capacity building. So we have to be very intentional in our act of distributing leadership and build it step by step and release it gradually. It is also about pooling the expertise of a group, and that's exactly again a part of my priority 3 and 4. So I am trying to pool the expertise that we have in the group, which will keep them motivated and also help in developing trust through observations, mentoring, and coaching. So this is what Alma Harris says. Now we talk about transformational leadership. If you see, unless the teachers are aligned to the common vision of what the institution is looking at, I think it'll be difficult to drive our own growth paths which are aligned to the SDP or the school development plan. So here, as teaching and learning lead, we do sometimes carry these transformational leadership approaches. We use those in aligning the team to the vision. I do a lot of that during induction. We do a lot of that during our team meetings, where we talk to the team, we align them, we bring them back to what the purpose is. So all that, and keep them motivated by, the regular conversation, appreciation. Also, distributing leadership is a way of motivating, where it shows that I trust you. And that's, again, a part of motivating the team. So this is my key takeaways from the research on different leadership model. Okay, now I would talk about the key takeaway from 10 strong claims, which I read by Day et al. 2010, which is relevant to my role and its priorities. So this research talks about what successful leaders do. 1 second, yeah. Okay. And what are, out of the 10 claims, what all resonated with me? If I say things that resonated with me was mainly claim 2, because it talks a lot about instructional leadership, and that's my key area of work. The claim here talks about, improving the quality of teaching and learning and improve the quality of PD. And that those are a part of my key priorities. Another thing that it talks about is curriculum. The successful leaders enrich the curriculum to improve students' engagement and achievement. That's, again, a part of my key priority. If you talk about claim 2, it talks about internal collaboration. Again, something that I mentioned about that's needed to kind of build everything together and building trust. Then claim 3 talks about the personal values and the key are key to their leadership success. And I strongly believe that a leader's personal value are very important in helping the leader lead the way the leader wants. So I hold collaboration very close to me. I love, I empathize with people. That's another personal trait that I carry. Another thing that I like doing is also being vulnerable, because we don't know everything and we are not perfectionists. So when you're vulnerable in front of the team, it makes it authentic, and it helps in fostering trust. Then claim 4, which I resonated with, is successful leaders use basic leadership approaches, but their responsiveness to the unique context is what makes it effective. So as we all read, all leaders use the same approaches, but why some are effective and why some are not? Because of their sensitivity to their context, what makes it effective, how they use those approaches. Then the claim 9, which talks about successful leaders distribute leadership progressively based on trust. Again, I did mention about it in the last slide, and I would say it here again, that this is one thing. Let me just bring it here. If you see, all claims, I've aligned them to how they align to my role and my priorities. If you see the first one, where claim 2, I'm talking about teaching and learning through PD, that's my priority 1, where I've decided to work on the LOs, SCs, and the assessment. My priority 2, where I'm talking about the curriculum progression. So that's my priority 2. Now, in the last one, if you see coaching and mentoring expert teachers, again, is my priority 3 and 4. In between the claim 2 dimension, 8 dimensions, where you're talking about building internal collaboration and trust, where you're talking about in 3, where you're talking about the personal values of the leader, and where you're talking about the basic leadership approaches and being sensitive to the context. I think these 3 I consider as my strength, because they are the values that I hold as a middle leader, where I feel and are needed across my priorities 1 to 4, because I need collaboration, I need trust to achieve any of my priorities. I need to be empathetic to the team so that it trusts me. I need to be sensitive to my context to know what I need to do when. So I think these are the skills that I need across all my priorities. Now, moving further. Yeah. So that's my role, right? And my responsibilities. I go to the next slide. 1 second. Okay. The next one is my strengths and the skills that I consider my strength. So the skills that are my strength, and this what I've wrote on the slide or used on the slide. I read Fullan and Kirtman 2019, and I think this reading has had a major impact on my learning from the leadership course, and I find it very effective and very actionable, because they are very simple things that they've talked about, and we see and the way they have explained it in the reading is beautiful to see how you can use those simple steps to build a coherent school framework, which talks about setting direction, building collaborative learning, and developing shared accountability. So all of that, I think what I could identify when I was reading it is willing to take risks, and I do not let rules and regulations block results and progress. That's my key strength. I feel, and when you're looking for change, you should have the ability to take risk, because you always do not start with whether you'll be successful always. So I think that is one thing I feel is my strength, because I don't get, I don't mind taking risk, and I'm okay taking risk. I'm okay to take the, even, if the things do not work fine, then I'm okay to take the blame as well, that it was me who tried it, and I'm fine with that. And I don't, sometimes rules bind us, and they also prevent us from moving faster. So I think I am not a person, though I should not be saying it, but rules and regulations, I often do not, they are not the priority that I go with. If this is the rule, this is how I should go. I just look at what I need to do. If I need to break some rules, sometimes I do that. So I feel that as my strength. And this is competency 1, which says challenging the status quo, by Kirtman. Then the next thing I say, I'm authentic and honest about performance expectations. And sometimes that do not make me a most lovable person in the group, because I talk what I feel and I'm okay about it. I follow through with actions on all commitments. Either I don't commit, or if I commit, I make sure I do it. And I lead with vulnerability, as I mentioned before as well, to create a psychologically safe space for all. Because we all are here, and I know Sumita ma'am is, she knows it well, where I started without any understanding of how teaching happens, because I was at the Noida campus and I was so open to learning and so open. And I always still did. I keep telling them it is, it's okay, because we all started like that. And I think that gives the other teacher quite a lot of comfort to know that she's not being judged and that everybody starts there. So I think that is competency 2, which says build trust through clear communication and expectation. Then I seek critical feedback. Even the teams that I work very closely with, the teachers I go and model lessons with, I always ask them, do let me know if there is anything I can improve about how I taught. And I often tell them, these are few things, these are my weaknesses. I do not do this well. If you have anything that you can help me with, I'll be happy to adopt. I've learned a lot in this journey of being a teaching and learning lead, being with teachers, with some young minds who are so clear about what they want. They're so self-aware. I think that's something I feel I am developing with time. I value collaboration and work towards creating a team environment because I enjoy being with people. I love working with people. I have no fear of, or that whether somebody is better than me or not with me. I think I love working with groups and with people in collaboration. I support professional development of staff, which as my role has been my responsibility. I empathize with team and understand their challenges. I always ask, to let me know what are your challenges. I think that helps me connect with them and focuses on team over self, which is the competency 4 of Kurtman. Now, if I talk about the last one, I'm open to change and deal with change effectively. Again, I would say Sumita ma'am would be the great, thing of that, because how I moved from Noida campus to Gurgaon and how I took it very naturally. I think I didn't have I didn't take much moment to kind of change from there to here. So I'm open to change and I'm very flexible with that. I take complete responsibility of my actions, as I mentioned also, that I do not without any excuses, building a culture of accountability. I'm reflective and always ready for new learning. I think being reflective is something I learned at Shiv Nadar School, because this was the time when I actually learned how to think. And to be honest, I did not know how we used to think. We used to just do things. And we never took a pause to think, what are we thinking? And I think that I give a complete thing to the school, the organization, and the environment. And this is the competency 5, has a high sense of urgency for change and sustainable results, and is committed to continuous improvement for self and the organization. So moving on from here, the last is the skills that I need to develop to be more effective in my role. Yeah. And again, this is inspired by or refer the readings that I've done for it is Fullan and Kurtman 2019. And here it says, yeah. There are 5 things that I've identified for myself that I need to develop more to be more effective in my role. If I say what I read and what I realized, making sure that there is clear understanding based on written and verbal communication. Often this aspect of making sure the understanding is correct. I think as a teacher, when I was in the classroom and I did my teaching and learning certification with Priya ma'am, I remember that was one of the things that I was not taking care of my instructions. And that was her support to me when she told me, Pooja, make sure that what you're saying, are your children understanding it? I think since then, I made it very close to me that I should help children or understand whether what I'm saying is being conveyed correctly or not. So I always wait for paraphrasing for children when I'm in the classroom to ensure what I've said they've understood, because it is so interpretive that I've learned over these 5 years of my journey that what we say is often not accepted the same way. The interpretations are different. So it's so very important to communicate very clearly. I think that's one thing I'm still working on, and I feel we should get better at it. Then strengthen my ability to deal with conflict without getting backward. I think I am okay talking about what needs to very clearly about what are the things that we need to improve. But when it comes to conflict, as a person who loves harmony and collaboration, I sometimes get very I feel very upset that why did I land up in a situation like this? I think that's where I need to improve that it is okay. And once you are in leadership position, you need to learn to deal with conflict. So that's another thing that I need to build upon, because all that would help me achieve my priorities. Creating a commonly owned plan by ensuring buy-ins. I think that's another thing that I realized. When we are making plans, we are doing it ourselves as leaders, and we tell the team to do it, and then we expect a buy-in. I think that's a learning that I've had, that when you create plans with the team, the buy-in is already there. You start with a buy-in. So I think that's another thing that I need to reflect upon and build in my practice. Then creating a long and short-term plan. I often used to just, we used to create plans. We never had we had never broken them down into short and long. So what happened was, in midway, we used to lose track of where we were heading. So I think it's very important to create plans in short and long-term phases. Then when you talk about committing to the ongoing development of high performance leadership team, then again, it coincides with my priority of building mentors. So I need to help them develop the right skills by providing them with the right, development possibilities and opportunities. So if I do this, this would help me, because if you see, these are competency 2, 3, 4, which are linked to building collaborative culture necessary for any sustainable change. And so these are the three skills, 3 competencies which I realize I need to develop. And all this, when I have a collaborative culture, it will enable me to achieve my priorities, because all my priorities to begin with requires trust and deep collaboration. So this is what I feel I need to develop in my skill set. And this proposed strategy is, first and most important, is prioritize. Do prioritize what you need to do, because there are so many things that we need to do. As leaders, it's important to prioritize what I need to do. Create a written plan, whether it's short term, long term, as I rightly said. So, in the previous slide, as I mentioned, is something I need to develop. Create measurable outcomes to track progress. Again, all these things are coming from Kurtman, because you need to create measurable outcomes to track whether I'm progressing in the right direction or not. Then if you track that, then you implement it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah. You support the team with professional development to build that support that they need to carry out your plan. Then monitor the progress, give clear feedback, and share the progress with the team. I think that is very important, what I felt, because when you share how much progress the team effort has made, that gives them so much of happiness, and it keeps them motivated. So share small wins is my last part, and then again begin, prioritize and begin again. So thank you so much for your time and patiently listening to me. That's about it.
Thanks, Pooja.
Thank you, sir.
Samita,
Pooja. Yeah, I think it was really very it was a great presentation, Pooja. And well, I was just seeing the PPT on my phone, so I was just trying to see what you have made. So it'll be helpful for me to, if you can email it to me, I will certainly look at it. But I really liked the way you have connected your, when you were talking about your takeaways, which is certainly, you said that you are going to be looking at the quality of teaching and learning, and for that, how you are going to be working with the team, and how you are wanting to, build some master trainers. I really liked, I liked the way you are looking at connecting the entire thought of what you're wanting to do, what is your role like, and how research has also helped you understand it better. I also was just looking at just one thing, when you are saying that your goal is to improve teaching and learning through high quality of PD, and creating a review process, and you also said creating aligning the curriculum with the having a robust LOs, right? That's what, if
Clear
I'm not
LOs
wrong,
and
that's what
success criteria. Yeah, clear LOs and
yeah,
success
yeah.
criteria.
Clear,
Yeah.
clear LOs and success criteria. I think those are the three things which you want to build on. So since when you were sharing about the skill sets what you want to also develop, and I was just wondering, would you also, since you also said that somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that you also said that I become a little emotional. Yeah. So
I don't like, yeah, those kind of conversations. So I do it, but they play heavily on me. I think I'm learning
yeah.
to deal with conflicts. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what you very rightly said, that creating a review process and maybe looking at high quality PD, would you like to also somewhere say that, um, of course, high quality PD, but connected to the SDP,
Yeah,
the correct kind of PD rather than
that's
only
right.
high
Yeah,
quality.
effective.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
effective
I
PD,
can add that.
looking at how it is. But believe you me, being in a leadership position, you have to be strong enough to just let go of your emotions.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. The entire
Thank you
presentation
so much,
was
ma'am. Thank you. Sadhna and Deepika, would you like to share? Sir?
I would just like to share that the meeting's going to close in less than a minute and we'll just like log off and log back in. Sorry. But the presentation was really good, Pooja. I mean, I have just 1 minute, so
Thank
I'm
you.
just.
Yeah.
Sir.
Pooja, I'll write my feedback down and then we might get time to discuss it, because I've got to leave at 2 o'clock and it'd be good to listen to some of Sadhna's.